Josh, Amazon's coming for your house.
Come on.
Maybe not. But Jeff Bezos is backing a real estate company, Arrived, which I've never even heard of. But apparently it's another REIT or it's another portfolio that he's backing that people can invest in as little as $100 and you can become a micro landlord.
Come on, let's go.
I know we have a lot of these, around. We have like Grant Cardone, we have different banks, we have portfolios.
Blackstone.
Yeah, people buying rental properties. This seems to be more common, which a lot of people don't know. I know right now it's very small. I think they on here it says they have 388 homes. So not very large right now, but I think potentially it could evolve into something that's much larger because you got Amazon or Jeff Bezos that are selling all of their shares and they're surplusing cash and they're buying properties right now. I think we could potentially have an issue with inventory issues and people being priced out of the market and not having the ability to even compete in the market. Yeah. Say they come to our area, which I'm not sure if they are right now. We'd have to research that.
I don't think so. Not if they only have 388 homes. I don't think.
But what can that evolve into, especially with Amazon? I mean, Amazon started out a garage, and now, they're a conglomerate.
Yeah, everything starts small.
Yeah, look at us in the new studio. We started. Well, actually, in an office. Now we're at a garage. Now we're back to an office. So it's good.
Bouncing around a little bit.
The issue on that is they're incentivizing people just like portfolios to invest into rental properties, which the issue I see is hurting the inventory flow even more and pushing prices up even more because really when an investment firm comes like that, to them then they don't care if they're overpaying. Right. They just want the asset of the property.
Yeah.
So they want the rental income because they want the investment of people continue to pay on these properties. So they're paid for multiple times over, but people are just getting investment on it. What's your thoughts on it? Well, and top that off. We got a lot of billionaires, Bill Ackman, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Mark Cuban, all selling massive shares of their companies and buying property.
Yeah.
What's the issues you see?
Well, I think there's a couple things that we see. Is one, if we have all these big corporations coming in and buying real estate, well, then they have a different pro forma, right? So like if you and I were to go buy a house, we're having to base that pro forma off of the interest rate. The interest rate at 7%, 6 point. Talked to a guy, I guess he locked somebody in at like 6.75 yesterday.
Wow, smoking deal.
That is, and that's not, it's smoking deal for today's rates, right. And he didn't even charge him a point or anything. And so anyways, so I think the problem is then all of a sudden if you have these, I'm going to use the story of It's a Wonderful Life. I know you haven't seen it, but you probably should see it. And it's this story between the Bailey's loan and home and loan little mom and pop shop where they're helping people, everyday people, get into a decent house. And then there's this guy, Mr. Potter, who is like a Bezos, is like a BlackRock or a Grant Cardone, and they come in and they buy up all these houses or they build these houses that are cracker boxes and then charge an astronomical amount for rent. And so that's the biggest problem the biggest potential is like it starts small, 388 homes, but what if that 388 homes turns into 1,000 homes and then 10,000 homes and then 100,000 homes, and all of a sudden you have all these big corporations that they don't care about you, they don't care about me, all they care about is the dollar, right? And they just care about what their return is. And hold on, let me finish my thought, and then I'll let you jump in. Is then we all of a sudden now where homes are nice, homes, when people own a home, like there's pride and ownership, and for the most part. But now you have these corporations, they don't care. I need to just do the cheapest repair that's going to last the longest, and then all of a sudden you're going into these cities or you're going into these areas and they're run down because they're owned by corporate America.
Well, right, exactly to your point is they're buying these homes, but the thing is they have to continue to increase the rent so they can make it more profitable for their investors. Yeah. So it's the thing you have to think about too. You talk about inflation, rates, everything, blah, 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 everything coming up. Nobody can afford anything. The problem is these billionaire companies, they buy these, like you're saying, they make small repairs, but they're increasing the rent because they got to pay dividends to their shareholders or they start losing income.
Right.
Then they got to offload the properties. I want to read this real quick for people who don't even understand what we're even talking about, so I can kind of fill them up real quick.
Okay.
Many of the world's largest investment firms have launched new funds over the past couple of years aimed at acquiring or building single-family homes to use as rentals. This comes as no surprise, considering that the increased cost of buying a home has forced many Americans into tenants instead of homeowners. which we're seeing a lot of right now.
Yeah.
Which in most cases it's cheaper to rent than buy right now. Arrived, which I've never even heard of.
No.
So I'm going to look into that today. A young real estate company backed by Amazon.com. I'm curious how they got backed by, being so young, how they got backed by Amazon, but another story for another day. Founder Jeff Bezos has announced its entry into the single-family rental fund space. So like I said earlier, we have a lot of those REITs. We have a lot of individuals, billionaires, Grant Cardone, individuals like that are doing the same type of thing. Arrive currently operates a fractional real estate investing platform that has attracted nearly 500,000 retail investors. So that's a lot of people. 500,000 is a lot.
Yep.
Since its launch in 2021, the platform allows these investors to purchase shares of single-family rental properties for as little as $100. To date, investors on the platform have funded more than 388 homes with a total value of $122 million.
Yeah.
So they're claiming investing in real estate just got a whole lot simpler. So this startup allows you to become a landlord in just 10 minutes.
Come on.
All you need is $100. I'm actually going to dig farther into this day because I'm really curious on what that actually looks like and what kind of dividends people are actually making. And I'm surprised we haven't heard of, I mean, maybe it's just flying under the radar, but I have not heard of this, and they've been around since 2021. It's kind of a weird inception date too at 2021 because they've probably seen what's happening and people being forced out of the housing market. So they're probably trying to capitalize on something. I just don't know exactly what that is right now.
Yeah, but you have a lot of people a lot of REITs. I mean, even last year, we had a lot of REITs that were capping how much their investors could pull out because everybody was so scared of what the market was doing. And so all these companies are pulling, like hey, we're freezing withdrawals, or we've hit the max withdrawals for this month. We can't do any more. And so I am curious to see how the people investing into Arrived, their mindset and sentiments going. Because if it was started in 2021, then that was when the market was going up. But now the market's been steadily going down. People are needing to sell stocks in order to make ends meet. So it's like,
and don't get me wrong. I mean, I know it's small right now. I'm all for capitalism, all for people being invest into properties. And this might be a smart decision for somebody who can't buy a home to invest into homes, but it's a equal opposite reaction. So it's very tearing on both sides of the market right now. And that's what I want to dig into farther to see what's going on. Because 388 might seem small, but as we know, Amazon, that could explode. And if people can't afford homes, they're going to say, screw it. I'm going to invest into a rental home in 10 minutes for as little as $100.
Right.
And I'm going to make millions, which, I mean, that's probably what they're pushing right now. I'm sure if I go on TikTok or Instagram, I'll find all kinds of reels on, hyping this company up.
Yeah.
What's going on. But I don't know. I think it's just kind of I think the more and more of these billionaire companies, or I shouldn't say, I mean, I have nothing against billionaires, but these companies that can mass buy and push people to market, I think we're going to have a potential issue on top of the issues we have currently in the housing market.
Right.
And I think it needs to bring to light because, I mean, if you're out there showing homes to somebody and here comes, Arrive and they're showing up in their Tesla coming to buy the property, I mean, unfortunately, you would like to think that the seller would, consider both parties. But if somebody's offering over asking and not asking for concessions and just buying the property and funding with a week, what do you think they're going to take?
Yeah.
It makes sense for the seller. I mean, it's hard. And then all of a sudden, the first-time home buyer is like, what do we do?
Right.
Well, you can turn around and invest $100 into Arrived. You got anything else on that?
No. I think it'll be interesting. We'll definitely have to dig a little bit more deeper into this to see what it actually, how it diversifies from the other REITs.